Here we are in the last episode of our high-end beauty retouch. And I am super excited because I'm going to show you my final adjustments that I usually use for my high-end retouch. The adjustments I'm going to show you are super easy and make your work look really amazing. So the thing we have to do on this image, let me create a help layer just for now to show you what I want to improve on this image. There is not actually many things to show, but the main point is, as you can see, the shadows over here are not really strong enough. So we're going to improve for sure the shadow area over here on the face, of course a bit on the hair. The other thing I'm going to do for sure, I want to add some really dramatic, nice color for the shadows over here on the hair. The other thing, the face color over here on the forehead and even on the cheekbones are not perfect. So I want to work a little bit with the colors over here to make this image look really amazing. So the first thing, we're going to improve the shadows, we're going to improve the color of the shadows, and we're going to work a bit on the general tones of the image on the forehead and on the rest of the body. So I can remove this. Of course, these things I draw before were not really perfect. I'm not good in drawing, but of course I think you got the main point what we're going to do. And the main thing is I'm going to use only 3 adjustment layers to do this. And the 3 adjustment layers are gradient map, which is actually optional. You don't have to use gradient map to make your image look amazing, but in this case I'm going to use gradient maps because sometimes gradient maps are really amazing, and using gradient maps we can actually create fantastic things. The second thing is selective colors. I always work a little bit with selective color to improve my colors on the image, to bring up the colors I want to show and hide a little bit the colors I don't really want so much. And at the end, there is of course absolutely top of the adjustment layers, and of course I'm talking about curves. Yes, we're going to work with curves, which are very simple, very basic, but using curves we can create actually everything. So I always use curves when I work on the retouch, when I work on the high-end beauty retouch, because curves always work great, and by using curves we can create really fantastic colors, we can create fantastic effects, we can do fantastic color corrections. So as I said before, in this case I'm going to start with gradient map. So go to adjustments and then gradient map. So before I start working with gradient map right now, let's analyze this image. What we want to get, as I said before, I want to bring up some really amazing cold color on the shadows and improve the contrast, improve the sharpness of the image. So we have to use some cold color for the shadows, and the contrast color for the shadows has to be a bit warm, which is suitable for this image. So before I change the opacity or blending mode, I'm going to work with colors. I'm going to work with gradient editor to see which colors works the best for this image. And as I said before, for the shadows, probably I have to find some of the cold color. I was thinking about green, which is opposite to this red color. However, I'm not sure if I'm not going to get off of the beautiful red color from the lips. I don't want to get off of this red color, so I'm not sure if the green is actually perfect, but I think something between green, between bluish colors, I'm going to see how it works. And actually I think this one gives me something that I actually want. As you can see, I'm using pretty dark colors, so I'm using this bluish dark color for the shadows, and cold colors always works really good for the shadows. And about our highlights, we have to find the color which is actually opposite to our color for the shadows. So for this blue color, probably yellow color is going to work really great. However, as I don't want to make the face too yellow, I'm going to use some kind of creamy color, and I think this color I have here, this nice creamy color, works on this image really great. This creamy getting into the gray color is actually perfect for this image. So let's change our opacity down to 10% just for now and see what's the difference. I think we're getting really nice cold colors right now, and I'm not sure if the opacity is not too strong, but I'm going to keep this maybe at 8% in this case. Usually I set around 5% up to 10%, never more, just very soft opacity. And as we keep our blending mode as a normal, we might lose a bit of contrast, and as I don't want to lose the contrast, I'm going to change blending mode to color. And right now I think I've got something I really want. So the second step I'm going to do is selective color, and of course it all has sense once again because I'm going to work with the colors red, and I think the face and some other parts are too strong, so I'm not going to pull magenta up to make this image too red. I'm just going to pull magenta a bit down to take down some of the red colors from the image. I think maybe down to minus 12%. And then I'm going to work with cyan, and once again I'm not going to pull the cyan down to make this image warmer, but to add some drama I'm going to pull up the cyans, maybe plus something around here, maybe plus 9%, and this image has really nice, cold, but very dynamic colors. And at the end, of course, I'm going to work with curves, as I said. So let's open our curve adjustment layer. And the thing I'm going to do with curves, the first thing, we have to improve the contrast. So I'm going to pull down the shadow area, but just a bit, because of course when we pull this down too much, as you can see, we add too much darkness and our contrasts are too strong. So I'm just going to pull down a bit to improve the contrast just a bit, and on the highlight area I'm going to pull this curve a bit up. So the image is really bright now. I think maybe it's even too strong, so if you think it's too strong you can change your curves a bit more, so it has to be very soft change in RGB. Then I'm going to change the mode for blue, as I think the blue colors are very suitable for high-end retouch. So I'm going to pull up the blue colors, maybe up to this point, even maybe it's too much, and it doesn't look so well right now. But I'm going to pull down a bit from the highlight area, but not too much as well, to not make this image too yellow. So I think till this point it looks really interesting. It's very cold, but by the fact that we pull down this curve over here, it's not too cold, and it looks actually fantastic for the beauty images. So I think we are done right now, and these three adjustment layers I'm going to put into the group. So Control or Command G, and I'm going to change the name of the group for Final Touch. And now let's have a look how we change this image. That's before our final adjustments, and that's after. As you can see, it's huge change, and I believe really this image looks amazing right now. I like these adjustments, and usually I experiment just with these two layers. So it's gradient map, selective color, and curves. So as we finished our final touch, let's put everything into one group. Control or Command G once again, and I'm going to change the name of this group for high end. So that's our final result, and let's have a look at the image we started with. So as you can see, it's huge change, and this image we started with, it's totally different than our final result. I'm really happy from the result I've got. I believe you are really satisfied from the final result I've got, and I hope you enjoyed this course in the same way as I enjoyed, and I strongly believe that you've got some really fantastic knowledge to do your own high-end beauty retouch. So I want to thank you for being with me for over 4 hours of this course. Please leave me some feedback, leave the comment. Nothing motivates me more than words from you. And I'm going to see you very soon in my next Photoshop course. Thank you.